I hope everyone's week went well. And let's go do some shit. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hell yeah! Round of applause. Woo! So excited.
Yeah.
Yeah. Love that. Love that. Love that. All right. I accidentally closed roll 20. You have to give me a second. In my fiesta to try and quickly go from one thing to another. Um, I'll give you the elevator pitch of a recap. We spent about 2 hours of in-game time in jail. Um, we, we've met some funny, goofy guards. We met one not funny, goofy guard. You met Jura Tepesh, the security chief of Paradise Peak, also one of the other sponsors, who recognized some of you from the games, from the Vassalship game, excuse me. You had a nice conversation with them. I figured die when he showed up. You had a nice conversation with him, and you essentially learned that vassals don't exactly get diplomatic immunity, but you do get some leniency. As Jura said that he knew some of your sponsors personally. Didn't mention exactly which ones, so you guys don't exactly have that information, but you know at least some of your sponsors are close friends in the with the security branch. And he asked you very kindly to not be a dumbass and get arrested the week after you became vassals. He said that a little nicer than that, but you got the big gist of you are workers who protect the city, and he said he just heard that you completed your mission, and have done a bunch of other deeds related to the heralds, um, through Ada Drawcart, who he works closely with, and said that he's gonna help you out this one time, and if he sees you here again, you're gonna be in a shitload of trouble. Um, but you did get some stuff from him first, before you left. Uh, we got a location of a potential candidate for A. Um, we also got some information to not rob nursery homes, and that is very much a crime.
I don't know what you're talking
Uh,
about. No proof.
yeah, of course not. You also get the strong impression that this is the first time you saw a sponsor talk about another sponsor. When you mentioned that you were you were a member of Nordstrom's family, he immediately just looked disappointed and concerned. So yeah, you can tell his public reputation isn't great. Probably because you know he was a criminal before he was a sponsor. So uh, that explains that part. We had um, we had an entire emotional roller coaster going on with Kipley and Maeve. Um, Kipley and Maeve had a little hangout sesh, and then went down the mountain to try and find the rest of the fine folk in the party. Saw a giant seagull off the coast, and then ran into Ada, who said that there was going to be a trial tonight, and that Maeve was to take part in it, and was to take part in it was lightly said. You were going to take part in this as it was your grandfather's wish, and Ada was going to your manor to talk to him about it, as she had been summoned by him. And she gave you a rundown. She also talked about improving your fighting style with your gauntlets and trying more hand to hand, fist to fist combat and sword and shield, sword and board, which you currently use. Which she was very happy to do, and said that when the next time you had free time or any sort of downtime, which you're supposed to, since you finished the mission, you have 5 days to kind of chillax. Then you can stop by and say hello. Hello. Then you and Kipley went and emotionally manipulated a guard into getting some information. You talked to Stefan, the local guard that you met in session one, um, and you got some information about a wanted criminal who is supposedly working with the Heralds, who is question marked in game visuals right above the child, and you also got some information about Pearl still being missing. Um, about the potential the potential problem of Jura Tepesh looking into the party, as the criminals who murdered 12 men on the dock are still being hunted by the authorities after leaving little to no trace of any kind of evidence behind, but also a link that was very obviously said stating back to you that Janine your rivaled neighbor, Maeve's rivaled neighbor, that was introduced as a joke in the beginning of the campaign, has very important information that Maeve tipped off the guards indirectly of where not to be that night. So whether or not that comes up as an actual thing that you should be worried about, only time can tell, but that is certainly something to keep in the back of your minds. Um, you did, however, you did, however, get some information about where your friends were last seen at the guild hall, and we're on your way there. Now, things quickly got sad when or A, excuse me, got a new host in the form of a very small child that Reese talked or kind of coerced into becoming a slave to a parasite without exactly fully explaining it because the child was sick, mute, and had a whole bunch of other diseases that could be cured by other means for sure, but decided to just, offer them up as a sacrifice.
Oi.
Oi, 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 oi.
Got
Wait
real
a minute here.
dark, y'all.
Oh yeah, no, it got dark real quick. But you did get some information from A because of that. They hinted at what the fuck is this? Shut your bitch ass mouth, music bot. All right. We're gonna have to change that music. You learned some information from A. One, you learned that the levels and powers that you gain when you awakened are not your own. Whatever it is, whatever the awakening is caused by, is still unknown to A. But they did mention that the power slash awakenings are not random. They are chosen, and that you should be looking into slash concerned of why all of you who came together randomly as a group are leveling up slash reawakening far quicker than those around you. Um, Potentially hinting at a connection between all six of you, all seven of you, six in the most case, of why exactly that's happening, and who or what that could be related to. They also hinted at the fact that the powers that control this world are very much in the monarch's hand. The monarchs control a large part of not just their own power, but the power that is left behind when they die. Um, he, re-explaining something that you already kind of knew about with the artifact that you found in the ruins that fucking Evelyn Gray helped you uncover and level up all of you once more, and give you small other kind of useful tidbits, but not really. They barely held their end of the bargain because you didn't have a whole lot of questions to ask them, and they weren't exactly going to just spill everything they knew otherwise. So they said that until they could find a way off this plane, this body should be able to hold them for at least around a year, and that if you wanted more questions, you could find them, but they weren't going to give you anything else for free. And yeah, after that, we we quickly left off. So, picking up tonight, we have a whole lot to go, a whole lot to go for. It's around, I want to say at this point, like 6, 7 o'clock. I'll go a solid 6:30 in between, 6:30 p.m. The trial is in about, I think, 2.5 hours, Maeve. Um, you guys haven't actually like properly had a chance to catch up with one another, as the one part that you did was watching the initiation of Vel being turned into a parasite. Um, and yeah, you have all of the downtime in between, all of the random tidbits if you'd like to catch up with each other. I assume you're not going to tell each other about the prison part, but you can if you want. And yeah, you still weren't fully told of what the trial was going to be like or exactly what it entailed, but just to prepare for it. And keep in mind, you still have one level of exhaustion because you have not rested because you technically couldn't. So I think we're gonna pick up on the streets of the Cloud District.
We all have
Af-
one level of exhaustion.
No, Maeve.
Maeve, okay.
Because Maeve started resting after the talk with her mother, but then remembered that you
That's
cannot
right.
rest back to back unless 24 hours have passed. Or close to 24 hours. It was far too recent to get an actual long rest, even for an elf. So, with the clock ticking and the party all slightly unsettled by the events of which you've just seen, what would we like to do next? Keep in mind, not you were all told of the event, or at least Kipley was, and I believe Kipley mentioned it to the group. So you can feel free to attend it if you wish, but it is not necessary.
So I'm a little lost as to where we're all at right now. Like, where are we picking up? Like, where?
Last
Whoa!
time, well, my good Mustang sir. Last time you all left off in the office of Nordstrom Fullbuster. As you met,
Okay.
you met
So we're still
halfway
there.
through in town. Reese went to go drag the child to A, and the party.
I carried her.
Yeah, yeah, you know what I mean.
Drag carried. I
Drag
mean,
carry, you know,
Tomato.
forced into a life of enslavement. It's basically the same. Okay. The party was semi split up. Majority of you went to Fullbuster. Maeve went back to her house. I believe actually Rictus went with her.
Rictus was
Am I
walking
wrong with
back
that?
to the house on his own, I think.
Yeah. So Rictus
Yeah,
and
think
Maeve
of
are
us.
are at the manor. The rest of you are on the streets of the Cloud District.
You're
I
cutting out for
apologize for the
me.
confusion.
Yeah, you're pretty
Yeah,
digitized.
you're cutting out for me too. I thought it might have just been me too.
God damn it!
Yeah, you're kind of silly.
Hold on, I'll marry.
You
Oh.
you might need a better graphics card.
Yeah, you might. You
Damn.
might.
It was a good one for like $300.
Hey, if you get an Amazon Prime card, you get it for $123.
Oh my god, I actually need to look into that. I want it so bad. Free $200. All right, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yes, much better.
Yeah.
Are we Gucci good?
Yes.
Fantastic. Yeah. No,
Sure.
every time I see that offer, I'm like, oh well, yeah, well that takes time and effort, and you have to sign up for the card, and it takes like a whole process. But now that I'm looking at it, and there's a Black Friday deal where I can only pay $100 for a very expensive piece of equipment, I really want it. So yeah, maybe I have something to do after the session. But anyway, yes, sorry for the confusion. Maeve went back to the house. Rictus went back to the house. The entire rest of the party went to Fullbusters.
Okay. Just wanted to make sure that like memory was accurate because I remember
Yeah.
we were there and the A freaking insulted us and then left. And
Oh, for sure. He hit the gritty on you guys and then just
Well-
dipped out into the streets.
yeah, that son of a bitch. Well, Mustang is going to look to Reese, seeing as this was her little project that kind of took a very dark turn.
Well, I don't know if
You know,
we need to fill Jared, Maeve in.
Oh, the fourth wall breaks. Reese's nose starts bleeding.
But I think it'd be good if we did get the rest of the group back together. What are you thinking, Mustang?
I'm thinking that, a little lying by omission never hurt anybody, but this might be worth not omitting. I mean, this is pretty serious.
Can
But
we skip the part where
I
I led
won't.
you guys straight to jail?
No, I was planning on bringing that up too because, it's better to have more allies than enemies.
God.
Reese just nods her head a few times.
It's gonna be a great conversation.
Well, I won't spill about A here, since seeing as that is your secret to tell, but I plan to be forthcoming about our little adventure into the jails of this fine city.
Yeah. Mammoth, are you doing okay after
Yeah, I'm doing okay.
Nordstrom's tower?
Yeah.
Probably never
Are
seen
you doing
anything like
okay?
that, hey?
No, but it was kind of interesting.
And gonads of steel.
I don't know what that means.
It means you're one tough cookie, Mammoth. That's what it
Hmm.
means.
Mhm.
Yeah, I'm alright. I'm alright. I just A had some
Well,
very interesting things brought up, and I guess you're right. I mean, these things should be brought to Maeve's attention.
maybe not just Maeve's attention. I think everybody ought to know, seeing as our names are kind of like this, and he's gonna kind of like intertwine all of his fingers together to signify that they're all attached to one another.
Well,
Besides, once we talk about it, the quicker I can put these awful memories in the vault and never think about it again.
Reese scratches her forehead. You can do that?
I sure try, and it works most of the time, but I think it requires a certain level of unintelligence that you might have passed the threshold for.
Sounds peaceful, though.
Oh, it is mighty peaceful.
I guess you could call it blissful ignorance.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. You hit the nail right on the head.
And just scratches her forehead one more time and starts walking. Does anybody know the way to Maeve's from here?
Mm,
Mustang would
Uh,
not. You? Yeah, you would.
No, he's
You
about to say
would.
no.
No, Mustang doesn't. But Reese, yeah, you know the way. You've gone from Nordstrom's tower from
She
Maze.
says it out loud and kind of looks around and then just starts heading in a direction anyways.
Yeah. Self-fulfilling prophecy. Do we know where we're going? As I take the right route.
I do.
Saw a lightning sail for a bidet and it got me. Jesus. Oh,
Yeah, and let's guess we'll head back that way.
hell yeah. Maven Rictus, as we zip on over to the manor. What are you two up to? What's
Rictus would
happening?
he would be up in his room, just kind of working on Rupert, just getting some little things fixed up on him from the last battle,
Some
kind
mending?
of making some sketches out.
For sure.
I really regret my fast writing sometimes.
Yeah.
I'm looking at my notes from last session and they're such a mess.
Scattered. It was a emotional roller coaster of a session, so I don't blame you. At the top of my notes, I have "How did we get here?" So I'm right there
Caitlin,
with
the
you.
answer is Caitlin. Okay, I'm sorry, I'll shut up.
Maeve.
Maeve is probably in her room getting prepared for the night, um, and trying to see if uh, she has anything for the exhaustion in her room anywhere.
Sure, go ahead and oh god, I don't even know if this would be. I mean, you know what's in your room. You know you are not like for what would be possible for curing a level of exhaustion would have to be like greater restoration or like somewhere else around there. Uh,
Oh, not
Definitely
not at her
not
room.
something that you're just
Yeah,
finding.
yeah.
But for like non-actual like mechanical benefits, for sure, you have plenty of different what you call it, like herbs and various different medicines that Pearl often used, as well as yourself sometimes to just relax. You have plenty of booze.
Cool.
Whether or not you want
Does
to go
this
into
world?
this drunk,
Yeah, probably not. Does this fantasy
Are you
world
asking for
have
weed?
a no? Not
Uh,
yet. Is there
Melatonin?
I was so
alchemical
ready. I was so ready.
um like Tiger Balm? Is there like a salve that's created for like muscle to
You got any
like
Vic?
tenderness or
That's some icy hot.
Nice.
yeah.
Honestly, oof, whether yes, but I don't know if you would. I don't know. Hold on. Let me just make an internal roll real quick. How in the know is the Damballa family? Yeah, for 11 or above. Oh yeah, no, your mom loves it. Um, so taking like the mucus of a gelatinous cube, you can actually achieve something pretty damn close to an icy hot solution. Um, and you know what? You don't personally buy it, but your mother stock loaded so much that you just kind of take small vials every now and then, and she doesn't really notice, or at least you think she doesn't notice. So yes, absolutely, you have at least free vials on hand that can be applied to any kind of uh, sore muscles, painful or locked joints, just to relieve
Yeah,
pain.
she's probably rubbing in all the joints, and just kind of praying that this isn't like a intense thing that she needs to do for this,
Mm-hmm.
whatever it is.
Of course. All right. I assume that's armor off then.
Yeah, for at least to apply it. Yeah.
For the entire night, not allowed. Got you. You do hear a knock at your door as you kind of like just finish up applying the lotion, and you see the stoic face of your grandfather kind of peek through the door. Um, you notice like his normal outfits that he wears, he loves to overdress, constantly wearing the most formal robes that you can find. Not very often is he wearing a suit or any kind of like actually like current fashionable clothing. Um, but you see he's in a very like long black trench coat, has a like semi buttoned up tailored shirt underneath, and is wearing a sweater on top of that, kind of half hiding a tie. And as he kind of peeks in, goes, "Granddaughter, how do you fare this evening?"
Um, Aside from just a bit of tiredness, I'm well, grandfather.
What? I am glad to hear. I don't know whether you've heard or you have been informed of what is to come this evening. But there is
In-
something that I would like you to participate in.
Okay.
Tonight, close, if not around 3 hours from now, there will be an event, a gathering of sorts. To bear witness to your recent deeds, the family's recent deeds, and to undergo a trial of sorts for the herald that we captured. I will not force you to undergo this role that is required of the family, but I figured if anyone should do it, it should be the one who held the lines longest for her friends and played a large part in actually apprehending her. And it would be a great honor for me to witness.
Okay, never mind. Thought I had a choice. No.
And that choice goes out the window.
Yeah. Of course, grandfather. I assume it requires combat of some degree.
To some degree, yes. Do not fret, you will not be alone. I have arranged a number of friends, family, and a few other clients to come meet with us. You shouldn't fret about your safety or the safety of the islanders. She will be unable to harm any of them.
All right. I've also invited my friends, if that's all right.
Oh, so Ada talked to you beforehand.
Yeah, she mentioned it. Yeah.
Good. She is your sponsor, so I asked her to personally be there. However, I understand the complications of family and how it can be hard for her to watch the trial and what is to come afterwards for her sister. But nevertheless, you will have company enough, and your friends are more than welcome.
Well, in that case, I will ensure I do all within my power not to disappoint you or the Dumbala name.
I know you will, my dear. I know you will. He doesn't step in the room, but he just kind of looks around, taking in the space, and then his eyes rest on you again. I got wind of what happened recently. With you and your partner. I am sorry to hear you are under such circumstances. You have my condolences.
Thank you, but I think we'll find a way to help her. I'll find a way to help her.
And he kind of lets out a deep sigh and looks down for a moment and kind of just does the thing where he tries to look at anything else in the room except for you. Just kind of lands on the window doing like a 1,000-yard stare over the cliffs. I know it was hard for you too when you were first introducing yourselves to the family. I know there was the original struggles, and I myself was one of them. As much as I would like you and Percival to live happy with one another, joining both clans, families, and futures. I would be lying if I said I would also not want you to be happy. And I know Pearl carries a large part of that in your life.
Can I look over my grandfather and see if there is any like oddities, inconsistencies with like his appearance or anything of that sort? Does he? Yeah, is he looking different? Shorter, taller than normal? What's
Yeah, go for it. Go ahead and give me
is
either
it-
an insight or perception check, your choice.
I'm definitely gonna use perception disadvantage.
Oh, it's an ability check, yeah.
Yeah,
12.
12. Yeah.
You ain't got a goddamn clue. As for what he's wearing, again, you don't see him dressed in this clothing. But again, it's not like uncommon for him to get dressed up for events. It just, as far as physical looks, yeah, he seems to be about the same height, same weight. Facial features don't look different. Hair is completely the same as usual. Can't really pick up on anything.
Grandfather, you're feeling okay, right? Is everything all right?
Do what you must, my dear, for you to be happy. As long as you keep the family in mind as well.
Okay. All right. We're back to kettle. All right. Cool.
3 hours. You will meet me
Gotcha.
and your mother by the stadium. Come prepared. With or without your friends, either is fine. I have meetings I must attend to. Good night.
Good night. I will see you all soon.
He exits. He does the annoying parent thing where he doesn't close the door. It's still like
fuck.
halfway ajar. And he just kind of let the hallway just kind of draft in a little bit. And as he walks away, probably like when you hear the footsteps kind of go out of earshot, you can see a few different eyeballs kind of creeping around the corner of the door, staring in the room, and then immediately ducking back out.
Oh, is it the Drakes?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just someone just trying to see, like, sizing up the situation, seeing how you doing afterwards.
Yeah. I'm gonna in Draconic call the slowest one, the one that was the last to peak. I'm gonna call him into the room.
Roll me a d4.
Cool.
See which one of these bastards you get.
3.
3?
Mm-hmm.
You get Jarbok. Jarbok is a green wormling. He is the problem child of your current one of the wormlings that you grew up with. There's one of every chromatic variety, and he is definitely one of the more shit-eating, grin, troublemaking, causing, problematic childs of the group. And he slowly walks in with the look of trying to figure out whether he did something wrong or not.
I'll be like, Jarbok, you didn't do anything wrong, at least that I know of. Is there anything that I should know about before we start this?
In Draconic, he responds,
I mean, you didn't. I don't know. Did you find anything wrong?
Well, now that you mention it,
Well, I was because if you didn't find anything wrong, then nothing's wrong, right?
who has been shuffling through my shit? One of you.
I know nothing.
One of. Oh, okay. You know something. You know. That's not important. When grandfather passed by, did his scent smell off? Was it the same?
Are you asking whether he tooted in the hall?
No, I'm not asking whether he tooted in the hall.
Oh, if he tooted in here, I don't know. My smell doesn't go that far.
You would just never. No, I'm asking if the scent that you normally pick up when grandfather is around, if that was the same scent that you smelled on him as he was leaving out of here.
I guess. I don't know. I wasn't really paying attention. We were just hiding around the corner, waiting to see if anything dramatic happened.
What are you gonna do? Laugh at me?
No, we would never do that.
Insight.
go ahead. It's a really low DC.
I have disadvantage. That is a 9.
A 9.
And then the other one
it was a 5 DC.
Okay.
You know your siblings. He's lying. For sure he's lying.
Oh,
You can remember
you
multiple
laugh-
occasions when the drakes laugh at you. Like recent occasions.
Oh shit. Okay, cool. Wait, no. You laughed at me when I accidentally killed my dog. What do you mean you don't That
wasn't me. I would never do that. That was Lael. She started laughing, and then the others chuckled, and I was sitting in the corner very upset because you were upset.
Oh, you son of a bitch. I hate you. I love you.
And I know your memory's not good enough to confirm that.
It's not. Not right now, at least. Okay, I'm going to recall if you laughed at me, if I have to go get someone to fucking search through my memories.
You see a bead of sweat begin to come from a scaly lizard.
No, it's fine. You're okay. I just wanted to. Have you heard anything weird or strange going on with grandfather? Any strange visitors he's had?
Well, strange visitors, yeah, he's had a lot of different people here. He had this red-haired lady with big muscles. And then he had this guy with black hair, kind of short. He was even taller than grandfather. And he had...
Oh, wait, back up. Hold on. I don't know that person that he's describing. The one with red hair, I assume is...
Yeah, you can really assume it's either Ada or somewhere close to Ada's description. But the previous one, that doesn't ring a bell for any like family friends or relatives that you know.
This person, what were they talking about?
I didn't hear everything that he said. They went to his chambers, and we don't dare go in there. We get our asses kicked. If he's in a good mood.
Yeah.
Even
Yeah.
Bats doesn't
So-
dare eavesdrop on him. And Bats eavesdrops on everyone. I mean, not
I
you, of
look
course,
around
too.
for signs. Bats does. I look around
You
for
you
signs
start
of
to
bats.
think of how many pairs of eyes were peeking over. With your wisdom, with all the draconic eyeballs showing, one was slightly smaller than the others, potentially more kobold than Drake.
I love bats. Okay. Wait, you all don't spy on my friends while they're here, do you?
Just kind of looks around the room awkwardly.
Ew.
I mean, wouldn't you want us to make sure they're not plotting to betray you or even kill you in your own den?
I'm not saying that like it's wrong and you shouldn't do it. But I'm curious, what have you found out? What do you know?
Well, the small gnome is really boring. He does nothing but
Which one? Don't we
tinker
have to?
and talk to his
Oh, okay.
monkey. And then the bat lady is really weird too. She talks to herself a lot in her sleep. And when she's awake, which is kind of sad. I don't go in the blue one's room. That's
shouldn't.
Lael's job.
Oh,
And
fuck, what
Lael
is
hasn't
Lael?
been speaking for a few weeks, so I'm not sure.
Oh,
Well, it's more like been like, I don't know, like a few days, but it kind of feels longer than that. The child, the small one,
Mhm.
he's just fucking weird. He went down into the mountains a while ago, and we followed him a little bit of the way just to make sure he wasn't like jumping off them or anything. And then he just kind of like came back completely different. His frog is also weird because it's just not always there all the time, but then like he talks to it like it is there. And then I don't know, he's just a whole deal that we don't really want to get into.
Yeah, I think I've brought that up before, and they were like, "Ah, he's just a child," and I was like, "That's more
It's kind of
concerning." And never mind.
concerning that you have a child. Like we, for our age, are like kind of still children, but we've been around for what has it been now, 100 years?
Yeah,
So yeah,
you've been
we're
annoying
still
me for
getting
about
there.
the time.
Well, hey, now you enjoy our company.
Yeah, of course. The same way that I
Exactly.
enjoyed the siblings company. You know, it's just I also want to beat the shit out of you like half the time.
What? It's so aggressive. What did I ever do? Oh wait, no, I can't think of
Everything.
any. Yeah, no.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, you do annoying stuff too.
Listen, I apologized for my terrible 20s of suplexing you all. I am
No,
sorry.
not
I
just the
just apologize.
suplexes. When you
Okay.
first started bringing Pearl to the house, she was so loud, and she would constantly be drunk around us, trying to ride us, and she'd throw bottles at us. And the amount of times that she tried to make me fly when my wings weren't even grown in yet. What do you want a
That's
Drake to do
uncomfortable.
if I can't fly yet? You can't just expect me to jump off a cliff.
Listen,
I'll
she was
perform
hot.
under pressure.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. She's very attractive, and I wanted to make a good impression. And
You know what they say. Don't stick a crazy behind your shield. Or your scales. Or don't let a crazy under your scales. I forget the
don't
saying
know.
halfway through.
Yeah,
She's
I think
crazy.
that she is, but it's hot. Okay, and
Don't let
we
crazy
make
into your
exceptions.
den. I think that was it.
Ah,
Because then the crazy will take your den and make it their den. And then you have a crazy den.
don't you try to take my shit all the time?
Well, there's a difference. I don't try and ride you.
Mhm. Yeah, yeah, that'd be very weird if
Mainly
you
because you
did.
get crushed, because we're getting bigger now, but that's a whole nother story.
Yeah. Oh, you. Oh, I forget how young you are. I need to be a responsible older sibling. Thank you. Is there any other weird people aside from
Oh,
the?
yeah, no. There was a few others. There was there was a shorter lady with red hair who kind of looked like she was like either really constipated or like really sad, or maybe both. I don't know. She kept leaning against walls. I could hear the creaking, and there was this one really really small guy. I like just as small as the gnome, but like he was he wasn't like a dude. He was like a thing. I forget the word for them, but like uh they're like stone but they're not stone, and they're like people but they're not people.
A construct?
Well, maybe, I don't know, but that was there too, and it was kind of talking around with the guy of the short hair who was really tall, and they went in together and they left together, and then the red hair lady went in and then she left, and then the other red haired lady went in and then she left too, and then he started acting like weird after that. His stoic face looked more stoic, or I don't know. It just his vibe changed.
I'm so happy you understand vibes and yet
Well, yeah, you have to
conflate
vibe check people when they
emotions.
come in.
How do you vibe check people? What do you do to vibe check people? Never mind. Never
Well,
mind.
I do many things. If you try and steal from my hoard, if they look at me a wrong way, if they have that kind of like crazy person vibe, like Pearl, we all vibe checked her at first and we all knew she was crazy, but you know what? You were too, never mind. But the small things.
By the way, by the way, um, can you all detect awakened?
For the most part, yeah.
Okay.
We don't
So
really
like
like check everybody though, because it'd be kind of stupid to know since like everyone you bring here is awakened. And everyone that is here is awakened. I mean, even Bats is awakened.
Bats is awakened?
You didn't know that?
No,
They
I
practically
because
raised you.
yeah, but I just assumed that Bats was like really skilled because that's just how
Oh,
all kobolds are.
I mean, they're not like a crazy awakened like your mother, but they know spells and shit.
Cool, cool.
It's the reason that you used to be able to play on the cliffs without worrying about the wyverns.
Oh,
Bats have the strap.
yeah, okay. Um, did you ever notice anything strange about Pearl?
Oh, the list goes on. I knew she was
Aside from her
trouble from
pedigree.
day one. When she first stole alcohol from your mother, I knew she was gonna be a piece of work, that one.
Stole from mother?
You didn't notice? Where did you think she kept bringing all her alcohol from? Her
She
cabinet.
bought it.
No, she kept stealing it from you, dumbass. I mean, silly?
So never it so anytime she would bring a bottle in to like
It
as
was
a
yours.
okay, all right.
I'm very surprised you didn't catch on.
You
It
don't
was
drink what
very
else?
obvious for everyone else here.
Okay. All right. Well,
Yeah?
Thank you. Here's a coin for your trouble.
That was a lot
No.
of talking just for gold.
You can take it back if you don't want it.
Well, I'm just saying, maybe you give a little bit more. That was a lot of information.
What
Plus, we had to spy on grandfather.
and that was a difficult thing you did, and I'm so happy you did it.
Oh, so all you get is your thanks?
Shouldn't that be enough from your loving, caring
No.
sibling? All right, fuck you. All right, cool. 20 gold. Leave. Bye.
You hold it out.
Yeah, hold on. 20
Immediately
gold.
snatches it with his mouth.
Consider this a deal.
And he just
Share
swallows it
it
and
with
walks
those.
out.
Okay. Share it with whoever you got this information from.
No. Oh,
Okay.
run, run.
And you hear the sound of a drake regurgitating a bunch of gold coins that went down the wrong pipe.
Yeah, went into the breath weapon sack, huh?
Yep.
You.
Fun fact, dragons have multiple different esophaguses. Some for carrying stones, some for carrying poo. But you are left to your own devices.
I'll go and convene with or try to find Rictus's room.
Sure. I mean, it's right down the hall from yours. The living quarters are all pretty close to one another.
His door's open.
I'll knock before I enter.
When you first walk up and look into the room's just a mess. Rupert's running back and forth, dragging things behind him. There's bedding, sheets, pillows, whatever, all over the floor. But his work desk that he's sitting at, that he's working on, is just as clean and pristine as anything else. He hears you knocking and just turns around. Oh, hey, Maeve.
Hey, how you? Everything been all right? I know it's been a time since we've gotten back.
Yeah, everything's good. I just had some things I needed to take care of up here first. But yeah, we're good.
Cool. I'm not sure if you've heard or been made aware, but there's a thing happening later on tonight, and it's something that I have to attend, but I was also allowed to invite my party members if they would like to join.
Yeah, totally. I'll be there. Are you leaving for it right now, or is it later?
It's in about 2 hours and some change, and I have to meet down at the arena. Um, but we have time if you wanted to like purchase anything, or if you wanted to have something tailored to you. Options.
Don't think I need anything, but we can hang out if you don't mind. I don't think we've really hung out together since we've been a team.
We haven't. I'm interested to see what you're working on as well.
It's okay, but it's not really finished yet. I'm still kind of working on it. But he hands you these papers, and on it's just like a sketch, like a drawing of pretty much a new body for Rupert. And as you flip through the papers, you can see different layers of the design. I just need to make some improvements.
Improvements. It looks like you've just made a Rupert 2.0.
Yeah, you could say that. I mean, we've fallen a few times in battle, and my whole idea with Rupert was to help not only protect me, but anyone else around us. So I feel like there's a lot more I need to do. I mean, he's working out pretty well, but I feel like he's just not quite finished yet.
Flipping through, a lot of these parts seem unique. Rupert is a unique creature, but how do you go about crafting these parts and knowing how they need to be designed and what fits and what works.
I'm really hoping Carter Bidenstrom will be able to let me use his lab and some of the items that he has because I kind of built them around what I found last time I was there when I fixed up my hand. So I'm hoping he'll let me, you know, use what he has. And some of the things that he has even is just giving me ideas. Like he's working on a project as well, kind of similar to what I have with Rupert, but on a much larger scale. So much better than what I'm doing. So maybe we can combine our heads and come up with something.
Is there any type of help? I mean, I'm not. I'm. This is very out of my league, but um, you helped me with my armor, and is there anything with this project that you need help with?
You know, I will definitely take you up on that. I mean, I saw what you did with your armor. You did a great job with that. So, yeah, when it comes to shaping some metals, I could definitely use your help.
Nice.
And I
I
can
think
I can
that
holler at you and let you know when it's time.
oh, please, I would love to.
Sure, sounds good. I appreciate the help.
Of course, of course. Um, and if there are any special metals or anything that you may need, I can try poaching through the Drake's hordes and seeing if there's anything I can take without them noticing.
That actually sounds really cool. I think that'd be fantastic.
Don't you dare. You hear echoing throughout the hall.
And I apologize about the room. I'll get it cleaned up later. Rupert
No,
just kind of entertains himself.
you're good. This room hasn't been used in years, and I'm happy it's getting some use, even if it's to hold a mess.
Thank you. So where are you headed now? Do you want some company?
Possibly. I was going to go let the others know. I don't know if I should just stay in a central location and wait for them to come, or go and locate them. Um, what's the best idea? Like, they're probably out enjoying themselves and having fun, so I don't want to disrupt that.
Last I had heard, Mustang and Mammoth were looking for some fountains to play in, I think. And Reese had some business to take care of in the Cloud District, and so I think they all went together.
Some business.
Okay. Um.
But I think it might be best to stick around here as long as you can, just in case.
Yeah. 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 Um.
So concerned.
When you say play in fountains, like what do you mean?
By that.
I don't know. That's just what they said. I guess that's part of boys out on the town type thing. I don't know.
uh, so nothing that would like put them in danger or risk any type of uh unsavory looks or involvements with any, you know,
Savory looks.
Yeah, the fountain gangs are pretty rough around
all,
Paradise Peak.
all safe and legal things, right?
You can kind of see a little bit of sweat. Yeah, totally legal. Yeah, we nothing like going to jail or anything.
Yeah, yeah, because
Yeah,
there's no way that we just founded this phenomenal group and we already have to be registered for anything. This is this is good. everything will be fine. Everything will be okay. I'm just gonna sit
Yes.
and watch you do your thing and just think for a little bit.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, it may not be very exciting here, but yeah, whatever you'd like to do.
And you start thinking. Other group, are we headed home? We headed to
Yeah,
Maeve's?
yes.
I guess
Okay.
so, yeah.
Any stops where you get there? You just legging it over to the mountain.
Nah.
All right. Takes you a little while, but that conversation also took a little while. So, about 10, 15-ish minutes after that conversation ends, the rest of you arrive at the door and enter the estate. What would you like to do? You can all see each other. You can hear and see them walking in with both your doors open. As they begin to make their way back to where I assume either your rooms are or searching for Maven Rictus.
Yeah, I'll look for Rictus.
Easy enough done, as with his door open and the sound of mechanical tinkering throughout the hallway. You find the door and peek your head in.
Knock, 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 knock.
And you also just see the
Just
mess
says
of the
knock knock
room.
outside.
Rupert's actually calmed down now and is just kind of sitting on the bed, fiddling around with something. And then Rictus is sitting at his desk and turns around to see you. Oh, hey, Reese, did you get everything taken care of?
Her eyes are a little bit wide, but she nods her head a couple times. And she goes and sits with Rupert and kind of pets him, even though he is just metal.
He just looks up at you and hands you just a random piece of scrap metal.
Takes it and twirls it between her thumbs.
Maeve had stopped by. Is Maeve still here, or did she go back?
Maeve is still here.
Okay.
Reese didn't even notice her.
The room is that messy. Oh.
Reese just look over to Maeve. She's twiddling the piece of metal in between her fingers. So, big night tonight?
Yeah. Big night. You all, of course, are certainly invited. I don't know what it details. But it'll be either fun, deadly, mostly both. Probably both. More of the deadly than fun. So
I should wear my armor and not something nice.
yeah, just maybe some nice things underneath your best adventuring gear, I guess, would be the best thing that I could recommend.
I think I can do that. But I should probably leave Rupert here, right?
You could take Rupert along.
Okay. I didn't know if it'd be a good idea. He doesn't sit still for very long.
Okay. Well, I don't know if that's the case. But if he's an extension of you, then by all means, I think you should be able to take him along with.
An
I'll just-
extension of you.
I'll just store him in the token, and if I need him, I can always get him.
At least Minion's
God.
not here to piss off Grandfather.
Yeah. What happened to Minion? They haven't seen you bring him out often, or it out.
I'm pretty sure Maeve was there.
Yeah, but we did it on the boat. They didn't actually see him really perish.
True.
He expired. Let's go with that. And
Way to put it.
I'm just going to be building some new things, I guess, in the future. Minion is no more.
Sorry to hear that, Reese.
Thanks, Rictus.
I have a question. I have a question. I don't want you to feel like it's a product of being like insensitive. Um, was Minion not made out of like expired things and creatures?
Smiles a little bit. Yeah, technically. Suppose he was. It's a complicated conversation. When I created him, my intent was to provide a body to people that I had harmed. One or two of them I didn't really know what I was doing at the time, and as I was creating Minion, and I gave him life for the first time is when I awoke. And there was a lot going on at that time. I didn't understand everything fully. So I accidentally put more souls into Minion than I intended. And some of them didn't want to be there. And when I released them recently, the sheer force and power of these souls sort of demolished what was left of Minion's body.
Oh. Well, I'm sorry to hear that Minion is gone.
Maybe I'll make something more beautiful this time, like you once asked me.
I bet you can accomplish that too.
Hmm.
And if you need any help with it or anything, you know where to find me.
Thanks, Rictus.
Of course.
I have some ideas. She looks around the room. You're usually a little more tidier than this, Rictus. It almost surprises me.
It wasn't me, I promise. That little contraption next to you just
Rupert
runs amok.
slowly looks up with a mischievous grin as he's just holding like different coils and wires and slamming them together.
She nods her head a couple times and nuggies the top of his head.
Clank, 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 clank.
I learned a long time ago it's best just to let him do his thing.
He doesn't have a sentient soul, does he? She looks up really curiously.
He stares back.
I don't think so, since it's that gemstone that's in his head that pretty much powers him.
Oh.
I don't know if that gem has any kind of soul trapped in it. I really don't know anything about it, honestly. It was passed down from generation to generation in our family because we worked with a mine that was close to town, and honestly, any gemstones that were brought into us to help shape or made into jewelry or whatever anybody wanted, that's what we did. And this was one that just caught one of my great 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 grandfather's eyes, and he bought it from him.
Oh God. I could never be corrupted. 2 seconds later.
She scoots a little bit closer to Rupert and starts looking at him a little bit more closely.
You can see like a light lavender color coming from his eyes as you can see the gemstone.
She looks up a little bit and looks back to Rictus. You know, I'm kind of surprised that we haven't talked about this before. I know we never before all this, and she just motions to the room and generally Paradise Peak. We didn't spend a whole lot of time together, but sometimes I can find myself in my own head. But I'd love to see what you're working on.
Sure. Yeah, and I think the last time you even saw Rupert, he was just pretty much just a shell. He wasn't really complete. So,
Nods her head a few times.
but he'll hand
Still,
over the. Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
sure the plans were formulated.
Oh yeah. Not as much detail as what I'm doing this time around. I've had a lot of
Mhm.
time to think, and I've seen a lot of things. Like I was telling Maeve, Carter Bidenstrand's, he has all kinds of things stashed away in there that just kind of gave me some more ideas. And he'll hand over the same sketches that when you flip through it, it's got different layers of the design. And you can tell it's a little bit bigger than what he is now.
Mm-hmm.
But it is a work in progress. I'm not quite done yet.
She holds the papers over to Rupert. Are you excited about this? She smiles down to him.
He takes it in his hands, looks at it, and just kind of stares at it for a solid like 30 seconds. And then slowly begins like crumpling the edges of the paper and begins folding it into like a little square. Kind of throws it up into the air and watches it fall to the ground.
Oh man, Rupert,
Sorry.
it's okay.
Tilts its head and looks over towards you.
I'm just gonna start making copies of everything just in case.
Not a bad idea.
So are the others back too, or was it just you that came back?
No, Mammoth and Mustang, M&M are here. I just thought I'd come find you.
Did they have
You-
fun with their fountains?
Yeah. Then we all sort of tried a hold your breath contest, but that got boring.
The most boring breath
She
holding
shakes her head a couple
contest
times. You
all of
missed
Paradise Peak.
quite a show at Nordstrom's.
I was about to ask how that went.
Yeah, it was a little bit uncomfortable to watch, even for my standards, but fascinating.
Well, you know me, I want to know as much about it as possible, or as much as you would want to share anyway.
Yeah, I'll fill everybody in. She looks over to Maeve. There's a lot going on here tonight, and I don't think Maeve needs any extra, pretty much anything else to think about. And she nods her head to Maeve. Just don't want to cloud your mind with anything at the time being. And maybe we can wait and talk about it once we're done.
Sure, is everything alright?
Yeah, she sort of rethinks what she said. Yeah, I think so.
Alright, well, yeah, sure. If you would rather say now than later, that works, or if you'd rather wait.
Yeah, it's not as pressing as what you have going on yet tonight, so.
Okay, well, yeah.
I have a question for you. She gets up and sort of brushes off her pants. Takes a few more steps closer to Maeve. Do you guys have a morgue here?
Do we have a morgue?
Not in the mountain. And you don't have a morgue. You have a oh, excuse me. I I was typing a message to someone as I was answering that question, and my brain totally just shut off as I was typing something else that I was trying to think. You have a
Mortuary?
ceremonial burial site
You feed
on
him
the
to the
island.
dragons.
You do not feed them to the dragons.
Carol Baskin style.
Definitely not Carol Baskin style. You have a tomb.
Not on the mountain, but we do have a tomb for like ceremonial burial. You know, we grandfather and the portion of the clan that I get from him being like the gods clan, um they like to make sure that whenever they put their own to rest, it's in a consecrated area, and that it's, you know, well taken care of so that undeath doesn't um, bring them back unconsensually. Is that a word? I feel like that's a word. I don't think it may not be a word.
She
Yeah,
smiles
but
a little bit to herself as you talk about it, but shakes her head. No, I don't think. Although, well,
Yeah,
her smile gets a little bit bigger, and she looks
Maeve.
up to Maeve.
yes,
if Reese were to go there and take part, that wouldn't just be a criminal offense.
She's thinking about it. No,
That would be a Reese no longer gets breathing privileges offense.
Oh my.
she's thinking about it, considering like a grandfather, and she's thinking how ironic it is, and find it slightly amusing. But she knows she wouldn't go that far.
I do have to warn. don't do it. You have been an individual that has been very instrumental in the developing of friendships, uh, being able to, you know, meet such good friends. I don't want
Look,
you to
hey,
die.
look, I wasn't looking to harvest your relatives and ancestors.
Okay, thank you.
All right, you can wash your mind of that thought. I wasn't going to do that, but
Okay, cool. Just, you know,
but
me personally, I wouldn't like to see like grandma. May she rest in peace. I don't think grandfather can hold back if you were to like have accidentally, you know, picked her
oh no,
corpse out of the litter and.
I'm sure he'd smite me on sight. Possibly not even in sight. Just yeah. She shakes her head and just walks off a few paces.
I'm sorry, but what do you're asking about cemeteries and why?
Oh, I used to. It's just I used to work at a mortuary when I was on a dweller, and I used to. She stops for a second. Harvest unneeded parts from now on again. But I wasn't looking for your family's tomb. It was usually more from undesirables and people that are less noticed. So I wasn't noticed.
You're looking for an ethical way to acquire body parts?
Pretty much, yeah.
Have you checked with any of like the houses of like alchemy or science or artifice? Um, See if any of the practitioners may have um find a way that like their bodies for experimentation or
Um,
anything of that sort.
I guess I always used to do it by myself. It never really crossed my mind, but I'll make a note of it. I'll look into it.
I mean, I don't. I'm not certain for sure. I could be extraordinarily wrong here. It's just, you know, I assume necromancy is a prevalent school of magic, whether we like it or not. So I assume that there may be some structures within society to ethically procure what you need.
Yeah, you're right. The way that I used to live and move, and I never really took part in society that much. So, interesting notation. Interesting note. I'll have to look into it. Thanks. Thanks, Maeve.
No problem.
I'm kind of
Should,
hungry.
should
What
we
are you in
grab
the mood
something
for?
to snack on? Something to eat?
Yeah, we should. I think get everybody together, sit down. I think would be nice.
That would be nice.
Yeah.
Should we head
By the
on to
way,
find the others then? Oh, sorry.
no, no, it's the boys in the fountains. They all right?
Oh yeah. It was a silly thing. We were more entertaining Mammoth, I think. Although Mustang seems to be entertained by. I'm not really sure what to make of him. We tried having a water breathing contest, but Mammoth was a land shark and Mustang doesn't breathe, and I I absorb oxygen through my skin, so I don't really know what we were doing. And after about 10 minutes, we all got bored, so that was about the extent of that event. She looks rictus for a second and then just like get quiet.
Oh well, you know, I assumed you all were out spending your coin, having your fun, and enjoying yourselves. Um, maybe I forget that you're not native to here. Um, being Paradise Peak. Maybe I can show you all around for places to go when you don't need to do or accomplish anything, and the little destinations that Pearl's shown me and I've shown Pearl, and you get a little bit of the balance of the chaos and the calm.
Calm. It sounds nice.
That would be a good idea. And maybe point out places that we probably shouldn't walk around or through.
Yes, I will certainly point you in the direction of those places. Um, i.e., they will be the places that I myself do not go to, not because I can't, but because it is not worth the trouble.
Gotcha.
Yeah. I'll even show you where I met Pearl.
Reese holds her arm towards the door, letting her take the lead.
Assuming we're still just getting food, I guess we'll head to the dining area.
Yeah, what are the rest of y'all doing? Kipley, Mustang, Mammoth.
Honestly, I couldn't tell you.
Mustang would probably just find the nearest place to sit, and he'd probably just be like writing in his journal, drawing, chilling out.
Is
Yep,
it
what-
safe to say it's been like an hour to 2 hours since her and Maeve split off?
Absolutely, yeah.
All right.
An hour and 15 minutes.
All right. So she skipped off to Pearl's room.
Oh. Okay. Okay.
And she just kind of, at first, just kind of humming to herself, looking through the room, kind of hands running over the clothes, just kind of looking through it. And then she sits on the bed and she'll spend an hour doing a ceremony to remake her talisman because she's forgotten who has it and she feels really bad asking for it back. So she's going to do a ceremony to recreate it. So whoever has it, it's just turned to ash. And then at the end of it, she just kind of holds it up, looks at it, holds up the lens, looks at that as well, and she just kind of brings them both up to her lips and leans forward and just says, "When you got time, probably not today, but when you have time, I got something to ask you. But, don't clear your schedule or anything." And she'll just kind of tuck the lens back away, talisman in her pocket, and she will hop off the bed and head out to meet with everyone else.
Sure. You don't get a verbal response.
Yeah.
But you do see the lens has a slight bit of fog slowly drifting out of it.
She just, as she's walking, she just kind of tucks it into her shirt and just kind of leans her head down, just like talking to it, like, "No, I said when you have time. It doesn't have to be right now. Please, not right now. I'm about to walk into a room with a bunch of
And you
people."
see the smoke trail slowly begins to suck back up into the lens.
All right, yeah, no, that's good.
And now it's just a slight simmer.
Yeah, I should meet up with everyone.
All right. Y'all converge just on the outside of Rictus's room as you start heading over for food. Bumping to each other hall, you make your way to the common room. Food is served by bats. And you can see the household is a little more active tonight. While you're eating, you can hear the rustling and bustling of different servants and drakes running about the house. You can see bats themselves just constantly going between serving you food and helping your mother, Maeve, get ready as you just keep hearing her call out, "Yes, but I am not sure if I want to wear these cold bats. Does your shirt looks good with this outfit?" And Bat's just, "Yeah, no, I think it looks great. This is the fifth one. But I am not sure. Maeve," and you see your mother walk in wearing this like feather, like boa lined coat that like you can tell comes from an owl bear, but she just has the feathers on the inside and like the fluffy like fuzz of a completely different creature on the outside. Just, "Maeve, darling, does this not look good on me? Does this not fit with the outfit?" Betsy's telling me no, but my intuition is saying yes.
So I love you.
No,
I absolutely adore you.
your own mother.
It doesn't, Mom. It doesn't look good.
She takes it and
Really,
throws it off onto the floor and rushes out.
I love you.
2 minutes later, comes back in wearing a black trench coat and black sunglasses. Fine. Do you want to have these? We can do these 2 different ways. I can either be cool and chill with your friends, or I can just be the cold, silent mom in the corner.
You're being dramatic, and there's a middle ground that can certainly be achieved.
She sits down on the table and begins quietly eating. She just takes food directly off your plate.
Are the clothes still on the floor that she threw off?
Oh yeah, there's just an owlbear coat on the floor that Bats comes and puts on a coat rack.
Oh, Kipley looked really interested for a moment, and then as soon as Bats grabs it, she's like, "Oh, all right." She just goes sits at the table.
So, are you excited? Did your grandfather tell you anything?
No, other than that there was a thing happening and that I was supposed to be there.
Wonderful. I am sure it will go just fine.
Hopefully. Fingers crossed.
Oh, the fingers do not have to be crossed, darling. You will do great. I am sure of it. And mainly for the fact of you will do great. I cannot see a world where you don't do great. You do great at everything you do.
Well, I wouldn't say everything, but thank you.
No, you're too humble. Have confidence and you will be perfectly fine.
This is something that I need to specifically be taking on, or is this like a for the pride of the family, I should be the only individual taking this on?
There could be multiple people. There are potentially maybe multiple people, but I- your grandfather wanted you to be the first.
Oh. So it's
And you
like
don't
a
have to
am
stay
I
for the entire thing, of course. You can stay as long as you like, show up, have your moment, and then leave if it is not exactly your liking. But as and she just kind of pauses for a second. This is not exactly a public event, as it is a private matter and a one that is needed. Um,
am
I
I
think you will
competing
serve
with the
as a
other
company.
families?
No, darling, no, 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 no.
Okay.
I would never force you to take on that without preparation, so that you could properly whip their asses. Of course not. But they will be there.
Oh, okay. All right. Which clans? Just is it just the arcane? Which clans are we talking about being there?
Representatives from all of them. But it is
Okay.
fine, darling. It is fine. Act like they are not even there, or if they are there, act like they are in their undergarments.
Pretty sure I don't want to see old elves naked. I'm
Well,
just
some of them, well, you you say that, but Percival will always be there. So
please not old. Okay. All right. Thank you, Mom. Thank you.
hmm I'll be waiting by the drakes when you're ready, or you can walk there. But I am taking. I think Bishamon wants a ride. He hasn't gone in a while, and he was useful during the attack, so he has earned his right to sprout his wings.
That's fair. That's honestly fair. I think I'll walk with my friends just to make sure they get there safe and okay.
Very well. I will see you there, darling. In case I don't get to say it when you're there, I love you. Good luck. Have fun. She kisses you on the forehead and struts out the front door with bats following behind her, kind of carrying the trench coat almost like a wedding dress, making sure it's not getting dragged across the floor.
So,
Um,
are we meant to go in our undergarments?
What a question.
is that me question?
Yeah. After your mom
Oh,
walks out, she looks at you and says that.
no. I recommend that you don't.
Oh, it's just she said everyone else was going to be in the undergarments, I thought.
No, it's a like public speaking tactic. When you're really nervous to perform or be in front of a large group of individuals, to offset the embarrassment of having all of the eyes and attention on you, you kind of subject the crowd to an unknowing, kind of like embarrassing situation of their own, as if like they're all in their underpants and you're the only one who knows it. So now you are on equal grounding in terms of like nervousness. You're nervous because they're all looking at you, but they should certainly be nervous because they're all in their underpants, and it kind of is meant to balance out.
Yeah, Kipley's eyes are just kind of, as you're going on, her eyes just kind of drift around to everyone else, looking, gauging their reactions before she's just like, all right, are we all supposed to do that?
Imagine people in their underpants. You don't have to.
Well, it seems to give you some kind of power up or something. A one up on them?
I mean, if you have issues talking to people and you feel more comfortable speaking to like a naked version of them, then you can.
You see Kipley's head tilt a bit as she's looking at you, her eyes like kind of going a little distant.
You told that to the wrong person.
I think that would have the opposite effect for me. I think that would make me more nervous and awkward.
Really?
Knickers
Okay.
make you nervous?
What was that?
Knickers make you nervous?
Seeing other people's, especially a large group, yeah,
Really?
it would make me nervous.
What color are your knickers?
Uh, White.
Hmm.
You can see his face is turning red.
Sorry.
It's okay. I just wasn't expecting that.
Yeah. Not table conversation, I take it. Do you want some fruit?
Sure, I'll take some.
She shoves the fruit bowl 3 or 4 people down to Rictus.
Thank you. And he picks out a couple strawberries. Slides it back down the table to Kipley.
She would grab it and just kind of look at everyone else. So, when are we leaving now?
Is it the time to leave for the event?
Pretty soon, yeah. Soon enough that if you want to get there kind of semi-early-ish, you should.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, if everyone's ready, we can head out now, or within the next 5 minutes.
I'm ready to go.
I'm good.
All right. And with that, you make your way out into the cold, brisk night, walking down the mountainside, which again takes like about 30 minutes for you to actually get to the Dreaming City. And you're very glad you didn't go in your underpants because it is a very chilly night.
We're not wearing underpants.
Everyone here goes commando, baby. No. But as you make your way down to the stadium, which you all haven't, it's not necessarily like you haven't seen it in a while, but it's kind of feels slightly nostalgic as it's been about a week and a half since you actually, almost going on 2 weeks now, since you actually first met there and first saw a woman's arm get chopped off there. We talk about that later. As you make your way through the city streets, you can see the overall crowd density for nightlife in Paradise Peak is actually pretty high. This is a pretty safe island, and there's plenty of guards patrolling it, so it's not uncommon to see people outside at night, but you see absolutely nobody. The streets are barren. And as you get closer and closer to the city, you'll occasionally see like one or two people wandering, going from like a tavern on their way home, or from their home to a tavern, or from a tavern to another tavern. My point stands. But as you get closer and closer to the Colosseum, you notice there is literally not a soul in sight. Completely silent, eerily so, and not a singular person can be seen near the vicinity of the Colosseum. And as you make your way towards the main entrance of the Colosseum, you see your mother waiting there for you. And you see your grandfather is currently not present. It's just her and what looks like to be an empty Colosseum behind her. Well, it seems like an extra step. You could have been here already on the trek, but you decided to walk for the brisk night anyways. I hope it is worth it. Well, are you all ready, my dears?
Yes, ma'am.
Wonderful. Before we go in, I do need contracts to be signed. As you are about to go into a very exclusive and very well kept and hidden private club. This is not known to the public, and as you can tell, nobody is allowed to be around here during the times of when we meet. So, we are just going to have you sign some contracts that are both magically and legally binding, Make sure you do not spread the word to anyone. That would cause problems.
It's a secret club
Mhm.
in the middle of the Colosseum.
Who said it's in the middle of the Colosseum, dear? Do you see anybody here?
No, that's why I'm not sure why we're here. Where is it?
Well, I cannot tell you until you sign. So I suggest you start writing.
Reese steps up first and starts signing.
You see she snaps her fingers and a small baby wyvern drops out of the sky with about 6 to 7 different contracts. You see she brought one just in case Pearl was here, but Pearl is not. And it just kind of offers its back as a table. And Reese begins signing. Do you read it all, or do you just sign it?
She just signs it.
Perfect.
I would like to read it.
Rictus
Sure.
would read it too.
You look for the details of it. It is both a mix of an enchantment spell, and a legally binding contract, stating that you are not allowed to it's an NDA. You are legally not allowed to talk about anything that you see, witness, and or know of regarding the topic of this particular date and its meeting. Any events that occur inside of this meeting, you are not allowed to talk about and or disclose to anyone else except each other. And upon you giving any details related to this to anyone outside of your own group, through any written, verbal, or mental communication, this user who you're assigning to, in this case by proxy would be Maeve's mother, will immediately be notified of this, and consequences thereof will follow. Does not exactly state what consequence it is,
but that is just at the end of the contract.
No sunset clause?
Not that you see.
Rictus signs it.
Mustang will shrug and sign it with his finger.
I thought this was a court hearing.
No. The wording was trial.
Is that? I'm sorry. That's not the same thing.
Just because a word has a meaning does not mean this is regarding that specific meaning. It is open to self-interpretation. Now, please do sign. Does anyone not sign the contract? Does anyone attempt to not sign the contract?
No, okay, please sign it.
Mammoth?
Yeah, Mammoth signs it.
Mammoth doesn't even care. He just immediately goes for it.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. Rictus?
Yeah, he signs it.
All right, wonderful. All of you writing your names down on the paper. As soon as you finish signing your name, one of you feels a familiar feeling. It's Kipley. This is something that you've experienced before when you make a pact. You don't feel nefarious means or any kind of eldritch or otherworldly being trying to force any sort of powers upon you, but you feel that a deal has been sealed, and that any actions that you take can now have actions upon them. So, after Kipley finishes signing, being the last one to do so, you see your mother was wonderful. Well, collects all of the contracts. I will give you all copies by the end of tonight. And just so you can hold on to it, remember the terms. Now let's go in, shall we? And she begins to walk out into the middle of the Colosseum. And as you all... Oh.
I legit thought you said you were going to give us puppies.
I thought he said puppies too.
I got
I will
so
give all of you
excited for a brief
puppies.
moment.
Since you signed this paper saying you won't spill our beans, you can have a puppy. I'm like Oprah. You get a puppy, you get a puppy, you can have a Drake, whatever, Copies. Not nearly as exciting as a puppy.
No.
And also, puppies will die very easily in D&D. Anyway, she begins to walk out into the center of the arena. And as all of you follow, you can look around the stands. They're completely empty. The stadium is chillingly silent. And as she gets to the center, you see there's she stops at a certain spot and gestures all of you to gather around. And as you get kind of in a close group huddle, she begins to murmur in Elvish the arcane chant of a spell. And you can see that the floor beneath her begins to slowly fade away, revealing a set of stairs leading downwards. And she steps to the side and gestures for you to go down. Who is the first?
May
Yeah.
will go down.
I would say Reese or I should follow right behind Maeve then.
Maeve, I assume at this point you're all armored up.
Of course. Of course.
Don't leave
Rick-
home without it.
Rictus breathes out a sigh of relief, because in his head he thought the center stage was gonna rise up again. But he goes down the steps.
Oh dear God, no, not again. No, siree. But as all of you begin your descent, you can feel the cold draft air from above beginning to get a
a little warmer. And as you walk down the stairs, you walk for probably a good 10 minutes just down the stairwell. You begin to hear noises of different chatter and crackling. And as you make your way to the bottom, you can see the sight of a completely different arena laid out before your eyes. And the stands are completely packed.
Ugh.
As you enter, coming in the main gateway, this is the side that you see. An entirely different arena lit by 4 massive glaciers. You can see that the crowd gathering is both of familiar and unfamiliar faces. You see a few sponsors in there. You see a few family members. You notice a few familiar faces of different elven clans. And you also notice that there is a lack of your grandfather as you enter from. Are you ready for it?
Oh, this
From
fucking-
there?
From the top center gate right there. And
Wait,
just in
where
case you
is
didn't
it?
see it the first time.
Oh, I was joking.
All right, here. Ba-da-ding. God, I love that feature. You can see everyone who is chatting amongst the stands kind of stop, begin to look over and down towards you as you enter. And you see the same announcer that was running the vassalship tournament. I is currently in the stands once more. Oops, you're out of place. Is currently in the stands once more, looking over all of you, and is currently talking what looks like to be in a speaking stone, but kind of gives a slight wave as you enter. You can see your mother makes her way over to the stands where you can see your sister is waiting for you. And she kind of waves and gives a big smile. Hi, Maeve. Hi. Hi. Good luck. The rest of
They
you can
will
come
wave
sit next to
back.
me if you want. Yeah. You can all drag your tokens onto the map.
All right.
All right, all right, all right. And keep Maeve's there. But as everyone arrives, you can see as your mother leaves, she goes and turns to all of you and goes, everyone else, if you don't mind, you can either join me in the stands or you can find any opens, empty slots for you to just kind of fill in. If you see any familiar faces, feel free to mingle. Everyone here doesn't bite that hard. And gives a toothy grin. You guys can feel free to drag your tokens either between somewhere between the two dumballas that you know, any empty spaces, or you can go and try and talk to anyone who you guys know here. Which is a few.
I guess it should be right in the stands.
Yeah, that's kind of on the side of the map right there. I'll put you here.
Reese likes his mom, so she's gonna sit right next to her.
Wonderful. Cool.
Can Kipling go sit by Percy?
Yeah, do you want to?
Kinda.
Oh, absolutely. Go for it.
All right.
You begin to move your way around the sides of the arena, slowly walking one by one towards the back of the stands until you saddle up right inside Percy. You can see that he doesn't look at you and notice you at first, but as you start to obviously make your way around the arena towards him, he kind of looks at you and raises an eyebrow. And as you sit down next to him, he goes, "Hello, Kipling. Lovely to see you."
Is it?
He gives a soft smile. "I would like it to be."
Are you surprised to see us?
I was not told that you would be here tonight, no. But a pleasant surprise nonetheless.
Maeve's gonna kick some ass, is what I heard.
Do you know why you're here?
Nope.
As I thought. Well,
Do you?
sit back and enjoy the show, of course. I was personally invited by her grandfather.
Oh, were you?
Yes, I knew about this for quite some time. I'm surprised that she just learned of it tonight. But she has been busy with all of your recent shenanigans. But congratulations on your first mission. I heard it went well. Cleared out a cave of marrow all by yourselves. 25 is quite impressive.
Yes.
For the 6 of you.
I can't tell if you're making fun of our name or not.
Oh, no. The 6, quite the name, really. A little bit strange. That isn't the actual number of how many people in your group, but...
Do you see more than 6 of us here?
Well, I assume, unless there's been some sort of breakup, that Pearl was part of your party?
Well, you know
Or at
what
least
they
you're not counting
say
someone
about
else.
those who assume.
Fair enough. I mean, it's a shame if something happened. She was a nice woman. Either that or you're not counting your new smoky friend. I'll find out soon enough after this is over.
You're so pretentious. What the fuck happened to you?
You hear in your head. I'm sorry, but I have a reputation to upkeep amongst my friends and family. So, the last time we were seen together, you were quite rude to me. I was quite rude to you. If I seem buddy right now, it's not going to look very good for me. So I'm gonna have to keep this up for the night. Also, do not respond out loud. You can respond mentally. Please.
She squeaks. She tampers down on like a response and just picks herself up, gives him a glare, and she marches her way back to the rest of her group.
As you watch away, she goes in your head. Please don't say anything to the rest.
She just flips him off.
Lovely to see you too, Kipley. Make your way back over. All right, lovely. And during all of that, you can see that just ends his conversation on the sending stone, and looks over to the crowd, and kind of begins to gesture to a few people, call them over, and begin discussing something. And after about a minute or two of Maeve just standing in awkward silence in the middle of all of these people, you can see that the music bar begins to change. You see that Eye picks up the sending stone, and begins to watch as the music bot command begins to bug out. There we go. Begins to play music over the sending stone. As he picks up the stone and begins to call out over the stadium, you hear, "Ladies and gentlemen, welcome all to the trial of the beast known as Calamity." And you watch as a small cage begins to emerge from the floor on the opposite side of the stadium, as a beaten, bruised, and bloodied Calamity. Whoop, 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 whoop. Don't know why it makes her always bigger.
begins to like look around like almost a caged animal would at all of the people around her, kind of sizing up her environment before she locks eyes with you, Maeve. Today we gather here to put the S-Class monster to rest once and for all, but before we do, we offer those who wish to see proper punishment handed down upon this beast, to act any vengeance that may linger within their hearts. Today, you may all indulge in your own rights. If you feel you have the strength and determination to bring forth a verdict with your own hands, I present to you tonight's host, one that needs no introduction, the leader of the Divine Clan, one of the last Umbalas, and most importantly, the man who slew the very gods and placed himself within the divine realm. I give you Jordan Dambala, the judge. And you watch as coming out of one of the boxes, the private VIP areas, right next to as your grandfather steps out and looks solemnly kind of over the group, and then looks at you with a slight smile. And our special guest of the evening is Executioner Maeve Dambala, gesturing to you. If she fails in this task, each and any of you who wish for a chance to take part in this event may do so. You yourselves can be the ones to punish the one from hell and the one called Calamity. The Divine Clan earn their right to go first, as they are the ones responsible for the direct capture of this creature. But if they fail, whoever is next to step up will get the honor of striking her down. Remembering that this day is a message for all those who would seek harm upon us. Remember, the power of the heralds is nothing of that, as those protectors of Paradise Peak. Today we punish one who has taken many innocent lives, thousands of our own vassals and townsguard, stolen priceless artifacts, family treasures, from not just Paradise Peak, but from all of you, dating back to the very first generations of those who lived here upon Paradise Peak's beautiful shores. You may incapacitate her, you may burn her, stab her, kill her for any means. Our clerics, and you see gestures over to the two sitting on the right-hand side closest to Mammoth, will be standing by, making sure that her suffering doesn't come to such an easy end. All of those in favor of holding tonight's event and seeing through this judgment say aye. And you hear the entire crowd all shout out, aye. And it all goes silent as they look towards Maeve, all waiting for an answer.
Oh no. Maeve
With a very
looks
easy
at
context clues, it's very easy if either you say I or do not.
Yeah, she looks at Calamity and will say I.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, Maeve Dambala, the Dambala clan's personal executioner, steps forward tonight to first take on the beast. Do you have any words of inspiration, encouragement, or perhaps anything you'd like to direct towards the beast that stands before you? You can see Percy
Maeve
gives you
will.
2 thumbs up from the stands. But they're like kind of hidden underneath his trench coat.
Maeve will look at Calamity, kind of recounting those moments before she died, and she will simply say, Calamity, I promise to you that all of this is very personal.
You see some of the people in the crowd go, "Ooh." You see Percy gives you like the most toothy grin you've ever seen him give. You see your mother begins to applaud, and your grandfather gives you a slight smile looking down upon you. And Calamity, the one who has committed crimes against the entirety of Paradise Peak, the one who left her humanity behind. Do you have any final words before your trial begins? Any final pleas for life? Desperate attempts to bargain? Or anything to be remembered by, you sorry sack of shit? And you see Calamity looks around the room. And whose passive insight is over 16? No, it's not. No, a
Me.
lot of you have pretty high. Mammoth, Rictus, Mustang.
Mine's 15.
I think everyone. Oh, it is 15?
Well, my passive insight is 15. My
Oh, passive
perception is
insight.
18.
Insight. I'm sorry, I was looking
Yeah.
at perception for some reason. Passive insight is 14, 14, 12. Oh shit, so it's probably just Maeve. Yeah. Maeve, you notice that as Calamity is looking around desperately, um, this is a hurt and wounded animal who is sizing up her situation. And from what you can gather and the quick moments that you've been explained things at the last second, it seems like this is pretty much the rich and powerful put aside some time and made sure no one was around so they could personally beat the shit out of someone who has caused the island thousands of years of pain. Not thousands of years, excuse me. Hundreds of years of pain. And repeatedly kill her until they finally finish the job. This is all sinking into her reality right now as she looks at you and is beginning to see there's no escape. There's only one chance that she might be able to survive, and that's to go for you. And you see as the cage is taken away, descending back beneath the earth, and Calamity stands alone, damaged armor, bloodied face, bruised body. Is he like a Tochi? Am I fighting Tochi? The announcer voice slightly inspired. But you can see as she looks towards you, she takes blood from her face and kind of begins to wipe it across, making a slight streak from her broken gauntlets. Maeve Tambala spits blood onto the ground. You say this is personal? No. Everything I've done in my life, I've chosen to do on my own terms. Every decision I've made since the day I was born, all has been for my own desires. If you wish to stomp that out, if you wish to see my end, I will show you what it means to be known as Calamity. And you can see the very air in the stadium begin to get visibly tinted red. Your hairs stand on end. You can feel your blood begin to boil. And every instinct of fight or flight is beginning to go online. And with that, Maeve, I'd like you to roll initiative. Let me go ahead and add turn order up. Boop, 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 boop. Let me delete all of these tokens. Ba, 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 ba. Ooh, 6 and a
It's 6. I have
14.
to roll.
That's a 6, baby. Disadvantage.
Hey,
Well,
ability.
this is gonna be for her. Ba, 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 ba. She rolled really shit, but even with her modifiers, yeah, it's still not gonna be a 6. Right. As she makes this last claim, this last statement out towards you, you can see the crowd begins to like lean forward, all anticipation, waiting to see what happens next. You can see I kind of takes a few steps back, leaving your grandfather alone on the podium. And you watch as Calamity, with no hope left of survival except for killing you, looks at you with not eyes of hatred, but the eyes of a predator, looking for its sole survival of killing its prey. And as we go to her turn first, you watch as in one motion, you see her take a step forward, a second step forward, and you watch her vanish. And you see nothing but red mist as a cloud begins to form around you, blocking your vision. Let me go ahead and add this to the map. Red mist. All I can think of is Red Robin for some reason. Ba-da-ba-da-ba-ba. And let me move that over ever so slightly. Whoop. And that is the end of her turn. Maeve, that's you. Currently heavily obscured and unable to see where Calamity is. What would you like to do?
Cool. Are we supposed to be seeing a thing?
Hmm?
Are we supposed to be seeing a thing?
Oh shit, I made it on the GM layer.
Okay.
My bad.
Oh, this is fine. This is fine. What do we do here? Become a menace to society? Probably. Cool. I am going to bonus action. I'll actually see what this requires of me. Okay, cool. I don't have to see. I am going to bonus action cast Shield of Faith on myself.
Sure.
And we're gonna hit the ceremonial dodge for the time being.
Okay. No movement.
I'm going to kind of center myself. I think right about here.
Okay. All right. I like it. Calamity's turn goes by. You don't see her, but you hear a voice echoing around the mist. You are nothing in the face of what have I done in my time. My name is the very origin of my deeds. People quiver in fear of me. The very mention of calamity. You are nothing but an insect. You should be cowering. You should run. Go ahead and give me a wisdom saving throw.
That is.
It's not a
20.
disadvantage, is it? 20.
No, it's not a disadvantage. 20.
You can feel the effects of fear beginning to creep over you, and your entire body begins to shudder as you felt this fear before while she was wielding the Dragon Slayer blade. You could feel your very blood being frightened by her both presence and weapon. But you are also in the middle of not only your family watching you, but every single important representative that you have seen and or met on this island before watching you and expecting you to perform and believing in you and watching you carry out the Dambala's personal will. You are not going to fail at this. Every bit of willpower that you have stacks up, and the spell washes over you and does absolutely nothing. Back to your turn.
Cool. Listening kind of to these words, does it seem like an ambient voice that kind of like is just everywhere speaking?
For sure. It is not a directional voice somewhere you can try and decide its location based on perception. When it was echoing, it sounded more of in your head than actually in the area around you.
Got you. Okay. It's going to be the same kind of ordeal. It's going to be action dodge, and then taking movement to 20 feet. 20 feet right there.
If you just on the edge of the circle.
Yeah.
Okay. As you step out of the mist, your vision clears ever so slightly. You can see behind you now there is a red pillar that is just slowly building up into the air. You can see a few of the crowd members begin to just quietly talk to themselves, like murmuring and pointing, but you still can't see Calamity. Is that the end of your turn?
The tease.
All right. Calamity's turn. You can see the mist begins to creep slowly back towards you. Only being able to move 20 feet is not going to be able to fully encapsulate you, but just enough to still wrap around you. The vision clouds once more, and this time you can feel the air physically more thick, harder to breathe. You can see that each breath you take comes out heavier than the last. And as you're dodging, looking around, trying to eye any sign of movement, you begin to hear chanting directly behind you. And not in necessarily a language you don't understand, but it's a spell that you don't understand. As in common, you can begin hearing Calamity cry out, "I am the one who has given you everything. Please, All-Mother, find the strength to reach through the divine gate and smite mine enemies." And you can feel the mist around you come to a point of almost pure solidification. And you look up as you hear a crashing sound. As the mist dissipates, hiding what was a 60-foot beam of red, pure blood falling down upon you. I need you to go ahead and make me a dexterity saving throw. Dexterity save! Holy shit. Is that a 20 or an 18?
Sorry, 20. Jesus Christ.
20. Okay,
Forgot I was
yeah.
muted. My bad.
No, you're good. Hell yes, you're only gonna take half. just being able to dodge out of the way in time, because you were closer to the edge of the circle, you can see Calamity falling down from above, raining this pure, like, cylinder of blood upon you as acid rain hits your shield, hits your armor. You can feel it slowly beginning to sink through it all, but luckily, enchanted armor plus high draconic resilience, you manage to take most of it. You're going to take half. Awesome. So you're going to take 15 points of acid damage as blood begins to just leak out of your armor, staining against the face as the visor doesn't cover all of it. And you can now see Calamity falling from the sky probably about I want to say 30 feet above you. Descending fast. Probably going to land on the next turn. As it goes to you.
Cool. So she's getting ready to fucking land. Maeve is going to tighten her grip on her longsword, use her action for her channel divinity, and suddenly around her sprouts a wash of bright light, 20 feet bright, and beyond that, another 20 dim. As her blade ignites and she finally prepares for battle.
Hell yeah. Any movement at all?
If it looks like she's about to slam down in this position right here, where
Oh, she's
her
slamming
token
down on
is,
you for sure.
yeah, then Maeve is gonna stick where she's at.
Hell yeah. All right. Back to Calamity's turn. As the fall finally impacts against the ground, you watch as she enters your space. You immediately see one pop up behind you, two pop up to your sides, and you're all of a sudden surrounded by a familiar ability as copies of Calamity begin springing out, all carrying in what looks like to be the same injured state as her. And she is going to go ahead and use her action to control the first one over here. She's going to go ahead and make a melee attack against you using her fist. She does not have any bonuses from the Dragon Slayer sword. It's going to be way less than last time. Going to be a plus 10 to hit. That is a 15.
That
15 to hit
hit.
is going to miss. 1 in the top left. 19 to hit.
That does not hit.
And 1 on the top. 12 to hit. Each way less powerful from the time before, not having any weapon in hand and purely just trying to raw strength break for your shield. You could tell, like, each of these hits are packing a punch, and with each of your each of the time that you prepare your shield to actually block the blow carries force behind it. But you've also fought against Ada Drawcart, who is insanely powerful fist fighter. Calamity definitely is one who uses weapons, not fists, as is not nearly as powerful as hers. And that is her turn, as it brings us back to you.
Cool. Finally, now being surrounded by things that she can see and by proxy hopefully hit, she is going to kind of try to. She's going to take the attack action. She's going to try to throw the shield up to block the vision of the individual on her right, which I guess is the original one. And as she does so, is going to thrust with her long sword towards the blue individual or version of her, and that will be a not that one. Same modifier. It's the wrong attack. A 16.
A 16 to hit. Which one?
The blue.
Blue. Gotcha. Swing and a miss. As the sword looks like it's about to connect, they just slightly dodge to the left, just in time for the blade to strike nothing but air.
Got you. Trying to keep a bit of momentum as she's pulling the blade forward. She's gonna kind of swing it around to attempt to hit red with the next one. It's going to be a 14. Yeah.
14. Stepping to the side again, predicting your move. Red steps to the side as a massive, telegraphed but powerful, broad swing of the long sword slices through the air, but unable to connect. All right. Anything else?
No, that will be my turn.
All right. This time around, all 4 are going in. And now with her action back, Calamity is going to go ahead and make 3 attacks of her own. All
Okay.
going straight into you. First one, 28. Second one, 25. Last one, 17.
Shield will make all of the miss.
Nice. As you can see, an onslaught of punches coming towards you. Raising your shield and casting shield to an insanely high AC of...
30.
Yep. Goddamn bullshit I have to deal with. An AC of 30. As each punch hits the arcane barrier, you can see the frustration and more the desperation of her trying to reach you, trying to claw her way was the only chance she sees of victory. And you just cast shield and watch as all the blows just ding, 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 right off of you. Other 3 are gonna still attempt as the bonus action attack goes through. Natural 1, and a 21 to miss. And you just watch in frustration as all of them reach out, desperately trying to break through and seeing nothing happen. Her eyes change, and you watch as green and red take a step back. Blue takes a step back, and her seeing you use your reaction walks all the way back to the side of the arena. Using, that's 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, exactly 30 right there. Perfect. That brings us back to your turn.
Cool. So she stepped away, and I just need to remind her that she's very touchable. So Maeve is going to use face step to
Oh,
go
hell
ahead
yeah.
and close that distance.
Hell yeah.
And proceeds to go ahead and make 2 more attacks.
Go for it.
Hopefully this
First
time.
swing. Dirty 20 is going to
20.
be enough. As the first swing hits, you watch she's going to head use her reaction. First swing, you watch as her body slightly shimmers for a moment as red mist fills the space, and that other duplicate, perfect copy of her, takes her place, being shattered upon impact.
Gotcha.
You watch as you turn around, you can now still see the free remainder of her standing there, waiting your next move.
Got you. Since that was on my bonus action, no movement. I'll use the movement to get to red. Make a attack towards
Second attack,
them.
go for it.
Yep, that will go ahead and be.
Woo,
26.
26 hits, baby. And red also explodes after her. And unlike the
Gotcha.
duplicates that you've seen before, you had fought her previously where her copies take multiple hits. Go ahead and make me an intelligence check real quick. Intelligence or insight? It's both it.
Mm,
Intelligence
I'm
is
gonna do
easy
insight.
done. It's not hard. Insight's gonna be slightly higher at a, let's go call it 15.
15, so it'll be 10 and or a fucking 8 at disadvantage. No, a 9 at disadvantage. Fuck it. I don't have the time to map
Okay, we
out.
ball, baby. 15
15
exactly. Nice. You can tell after previously fighting her copies take, and you begin to look inside of her ability and try and make it make sense in your mind of why she isn't just putting more hold on, excuse me. Why she isn't putting like more health, more power into each of her copies. And you quickly realize it's because she doesn't have enough resources to go around for herself. Before, she was going in full power, fighting both you and your grandfather, and each copy carried a small portion of her HP pool, excuse me. But as she has been kept in containment for multiple days without food, water, and as you can see in her state, which is worse than what you saw previously, it's probably been tortured for information. She does not have enough hit points to go around to put anything except for 1 HP into each one of these things. At least the ones that she's summoned right now. Yeah, so a 15 will get you. Second swing,
Nice
red
enough.
blows up into another pile of red mist. Anything else?
That will be my turn.
Start of Calamity's turn. You watch as she begins to rapidly dash around the arena. She uses her action to dash. She's going to go ahead and move to the very, very edge. And you can see she begins to climb up, beginning to dig her fists into the actual stone arena. You can feel a slight quake as she begins to muscle her way up, one hand over the other. And you watch as green begins to run towards you directly. And as she does, you watch as the mist around her begins to fluctuate, beginning to grow faster and faster, redder and redder. And as you can see, she steps directly up to you, and arms open, almost look like she's going for a tackle, explodes into red mist, causing a wave of red blood and a slight bit of wind as well to explode around you. I'm gonna need a dexterity saving throw from you again.
That is going to not be a disadvantage.
No.
But the first one is 14.
14 is a fail. Luckily, we don't have a whole lot of hit points in them, so it's not going to be a whole lot of damage. Take 7 points of necrotic damage. As you can feel, this time different from the acid rain previously, the copy flowing up with a fraction of her destructive power, you can feel just the necrosis beginning to set in as the mist seeps through your visor unaffected by any armor AC that you might have, and slowly begins taking effect. But duplicate is destroyed. All right, and she is currently out of this 30-foot wall, 15 feet up. Back to your turn. As she's gotten away, she looks like a fucking ferocious animal, like desperately trying to claw her way out.
Okay. And you said that she's 15 feet up, right?
15 feet up. Mm-hmm.
Maeve is going to get right there. Is going to plant her sword in the ground next to her. And begin with one hand weaving the incantations for firebolt and
Go for it.
cast firebolt. That is going to be not +4, whatever this is.
16.
Just 12.
Oh, 12. Well, definitely
Yeah,
not.
just
12.
For sure.
Swing and a miss. You were trying to. It's like trying to shoot a squirrel rapidly going up a tree. As you shoot the firebolt, she is already climbing another 5 feet, desperately attempting to escape. Anything else?
Maeve is going to say, "Come on, Calamity. There isn't any escape. Come
All right.
fight this the same way that you did."
Back to her turn. As she reaches the top using the remainder of her movement, watch as she gets into the stands. You don't hear it, but you see, as the rest of you watch, Maeve's grandfather raise his hand outward towards her and casting an incantation that you're very familiar with, very familiar, excuse me, as he vortex warps her, automatically forcing a fail directly back in front of you. Face to face, and as you kind of pick up the sword after casting Firebolt, you just watch as golden light fizzles into existence, and Calamity, whose like arms are up, looking like she's about to climb, is now placed directly in front of you, looking confused, and you don't see a look of fear, but you see a look of absolute bewilderment as you hear your grandfather call out across the stadium. Any escape you may try is nothing in the face of those that you have run from before. Face your judgment and die like a good dog. And Calamity, looking you face to face, with sword and shield in hand, looks over towards you and goes, "Really? Is this how you want this to end, Dumbala? I am weaponless. I have been beaten. I have been tortured and starved for days. And you fight me in perfect condition? Let's settle this like real warriors. Hand to hand. Fist to fist. What say you?" You have a few seconds to respond.
Maeve will kind of like think for a moment. Hand to hand. I like it. I like it a bit. You know what? We'll do a variation of that jest for you.
You see a slight smile creep across her face as she reaches out and gonna go ahead and try and attack you 3 more times.
Okay, go for it.
It's gonna be a 28, natural 20, and dirty 20.
So we're going to shield to prevent the 2 that can be prevented from actually hurting. But then natural 20, of course, we cannot stop.
Natural 20 hits. That's just gonna be 8, 6. 2 8s, baby. 22 points of damage. As you can see, just carrying some fucking weight behind him. Again, not nearly as powerful as previously seen by Ada Drawcart. However, after getting that bit of cockiness and letting your guard down for a second, as you kind of think in your head, yeah, I'll meet her challenge. You know for a fact that you've been practicing, that you have a goal and a mindset of how to best use your own version of hand-to-hand combat. That brief second that you let your guard down, begin to plan out what you're going to do next. 2 hits in quick succession, both instantly blocked by shield, as you, again, remain confident in your ability to block physical blows. Just enough in time for the last kick to come spinning around, slamming you directly in the chest. And you can feel, if this was not magical armor, it would be dented in, if not destroyed. As it kicks in, you can hear the heel of her boot begin to scrape against the mithril armor that you wear. And the density of the kick still carries just enough weight for your stomach to burn in pain. And let's do this.
At the end of her turn, I'm gonna use a legendary action.
Go for it.
She's going to, of course, at this hit, cough up blood, and it's a solid hit. It's a solid warrior's hit, but she is going to kind of like, as she rises to catch air, she's going to wipe her mouth, and kind of using the thumb to kind of wipe the corner blood away from the corner of the mouth. Going to use her lay on hands, to give herself back 25 hit points.
Hell yeah.
And look towards her and say, well, I guess that means it's my turn.
Shit. Hell yeah.
That is... Okay, there we go. I am going to bonus action, holding onto my weapon and my shield. Going to use the bonus action for, I believe it is War Machine? Or no, I don't think it's Machine of War yet. It is the metallic transmutation. And on my right, the shield becomes claws, and on the left, my sword in all of its glowing might becomes the other gauntlet, and they both begin to glow with the light of my channel divinity. And I am going to use my action to attack twice.
Hell yeah.
That is
Just
going
before
to
you
be...
do, Jared, I
Go
got this
for it.
just for you. You don't have the music bot on. I suggest you turn it on, big boy. You might want to lower the volume a bit, ladies and gentlemen. For those
Or
that don't
turn it up.
know, this is Jared's personal theme.
Let me tell you something. All right. Cool.
You didn't think I come prepared, baby?
Yeah. Much appreciated.
I
Yeah,
got
for
you.
the first attack, is going to be a 22.
22 hits.
Okay. This one, there is going to be a first level Divine Smite.
Hell yeah, put it in
As
there.
her heart is rapidly beating, she overclocks, and instead of radiant, she's gonna do lightning damage.
Go for it.
Got you. This is, get rid of this, get rid of that. Rid of this. That is 6 bludgeoning and fucking hell. 10 lightning damage.
Ooh, hell yeah. Oh, and excuse me, I forgot to turn on the hellfire. Oh, I'm so sad that we never got to see the full of it. But still.
The full of her health. I'd
Oh, yeah.
like not to.
Let's
This
see.
is a personal preference.
Where is boom. There we go.
Yeah, so kind of in the midst of kind of like this hyping up for a bit of a moment, there is the first attack that kind of comes for like the core of her being, makes contact, and she's going to sidestep and try to throw like a hook punch for like the chin of Calamity.
Go for it.
That is going to be a
Oh,
30
this
to
is
hit.
fucking perfect. Let's go.
And that's
Yeah,
going
that
to be a
hits.
second level divine smite.
Oh, hell
that
yeah,
we're gonna
let's
throw
go.
into that one.
Put it in there.
Got you. That is going to be 11 bludgeoning and
Just bludgeoning.
yeah, that's just bludgeoning. And this is going to be oh shit, only 8 points of lightning
No,
damage.
as still 19 points of damage. You see the blow takes some. You can see as the blow connects, the sound that it makes as hardened mithril. Actually, excuse me, not mithril metal, just normal hardened alloy, enchanted by your magical properties, slams into her chin. The sound it makes is the sound of bone being fractured, and her teeth slamming together. You see just the tiniest bit of her tongue being slit out of her mouth with blood spitting everywhere as she staggers backwards, completely dazed. And as she wipes the blood from her face and looks back at you, it is now no longer the look of fear and bewilderment, just that of pure hate and adrenaline hitting her body. Is that the end of your turn?
That is indeed the end of my turn.
As she looks at you, wiping the blood across her face, now drenched in her own vile, pestering blood. You see her mouth turns into a toothy grin. I'm going down. Damballa, I'm taking you with me. Let's dance. And she reaches out into her own hand, grabs her arm, and rips in one motion, making a disturbing, shattering, and tearing sound as she rips her own right arm off.
Reese is just in the
Flinging
stands
across
drooling.
the stadium.
Oh,
Flinging across
she
the
for
stadium
sure
floor.
leans forward.
Reese now has you had my interest, but now you have my attention. Revealing a bony blade in her right arm, carved and made for the sole purpose of being caught without a weapon to be able to defend herself. Reaches towards you and is going to go ahead and attempt to puncture right through that armor.
Gotcha.
Here comes the attacks. This one, first one's going to be a little bit more packed to the punch. We're looking at a 21 to hit.
That does not hit.
This being able to be in this state, the adrenaline hitting you for the first time in a long time, the gloves, the fighting style, the energy in the arena, made without even casting shield, without even having your actual shield on you. Maeve has entered the flow state and is absolutely predicting even the most absurd of moves. She's gonna come out at you with just her left fist. Have you ever seen the movie Bullet Train? As
Yes.
as Lemon attempts to break for the glass, she wraps her arm around you, those sword arm, and is now going to attempt to rapidly punch you in the face with her left for the remaining 2 hits. 17, 16, unable to break for the armor. You just hear armor being hit by armor, shattering her own. You can see the black gloved gauntlet with each hit beginning to break down more and more, revealing her bare bone knuckles slamming against the metal. And with this adrenaline, she's going to action surge and do it again.
Cool.
As a 28 to hit.
28 is gonna hit. Yeah,
27 to hit and a 29 to hit.
all three of those are gonna hit.
All right, cool. First one being the bone arm as she pushes you back and stabs directly through your helmet, through the visor, right across your face. It's going to go ahead and be 13 points of slashing damage as she cuts a laceration right across your right cheek. And the other two are going to be, I can just roll it at once. 27 points of damage from the other two strikes as she hits 2 consecutive blows. Now the visor was popped up by the first two. She continuously slams your left eye with the other 2 punches before pushing you back and getting ready for the next onslaught. God damn it, the Hakari music turned off. I have to go turn it back on. I turned it on a loop and I accidentally hit unloop. There we go. But it is your turn.
At the end of her turn, now, I have to be important. I have to ask this very important question.
Go for it.
The shit. Is it so? If I use a legendary action, it makes one action, correct?
It makes one action, correct? So if you use to take the attack action, you still get 2 attacks, or a spell, or any other like normal action.
Going to do that. I'm going to use it for 2 attacks.
Go for it.
Attack action. So that is me out of inspirations. Getting stabbed and getting held onto to get those last 3 attacks after the action surge is kind of a shock. And so she tries to wrestle maneuver out of it and kind of tries to sidestep to the attacking arm or the arm that has the fucking sword.
Yeah.
And strike twice from there.
Go for it.
That is going to be
Is that 17?
17. Yep.
17 is the AC. It hits.
Oh, okay, cool. Going to put a first level divine strike into this.
Go for it.
That is 9 bludgeoning.
9 bludgeoning plus
6 lightning. Oh,
6 lightning.
Not showing up with that.
You can see the update of the health, right? For the health bar?
So. Yeah.
Okay, good.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
I can see it going down. Second attack.
That hits. 19 hits.
Last first level for that one.
Go for it. Are you out of spell slots?
No, I'm just out of first level spell slots.
First level. Gotcha.
Yeah.
We save it for the big one.
Yeah.
And just remember, you do have inspiration left. 2 inspirations for everyone this evening. Still in action.
I'm
oh
out,
shit! Oh, you popped it before. That's right.
Yeah.
Never mind. I forgot why you're using it right now. 10 points of bludgeoning. Hell yeah.
10 bludgeoning, 5 lightning.
Oh, this could be closer than I thought.
Yeah. And then
you're taking
actual turn. Yeah, I'm going to bonus action go into War Machine.
Hell yeah! Before you do, brief description. As you pass the half HP threshold, you take the sword arm around you, push her back, grab onto the actual bone with the gauntlet, and you take your other hand and repeatedly, taking the same motion that she did to you, punch her in the face once, twice, push her back for your action and your actual turn. And as you get ready, you can see the blood that is now dripping from her begins to harden. You can see blood-like tears coming from her face begins to harden. And you watch as her normal teeth extends into fangs. And now continue your turn.
Yeah, Maeve knows that this is like her leave it all on the the fucking stands, she has 6 hit points to her name. So she's
6
like
hit points
equally
left.
fucked.
Oh,
Yeah, 6
hell
hit
yeah.
points to her name. And so kind of excited by the thrill of like the luck required to this, she is going to kind of slap her thighs and do kind of like a clap, activating her machine of war as she kind of begins to dance from side to side, um, just taking the moment to emote and collect all of her energy. She's going to
Taking the
quickly
moment to
duck.
emote. The greatest
Yeah,
quote of
taking
this
the moment to
campaign.
emote. Yeah. She's gonna dash back in and leave it on the line
Go
with the
for
last
it.
2 strikes.
Go for it. Come on, baby.
That is going to be
Always bet on Maeve. 19 hits.
19. Yeah, I'm going to put a 2nd level Divine Smite on that. That's my
Go for
last
it.
2nd level
Plus
slot.
the Machine of War.
Yeah, plus Machine of War. So that is. She's not like a fiend or anything like that. I don't know.
Let me check her stat line. Make sure. Calamity is not a fiend now.
Cool,
She
thank
is
God.
funny enough an aberration.
Oh, okay. That is going to be.
You don't get any bonuses for aberrations, right?
No, I don't get any bonus for
I think that's the
aberrations.
different subclass.
That's going to be 12 bludgeoning.
12 bludgeoning.
And it's going to be 13
Hua.
lightning damage.
13
Jeez.
lightning damage.
Get it, babe.
Oh, this is getting so close.
Okay. Last attack.
Oh,
30.
30? Yeah.
I'm gonna
Just
take
remember, you
on
can take
2.
exhaustion.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I was
baby.
just saying 2 points of exhaustion for a 2nd level Divine Smite.
All right. Do you want to roll now, or do you want me to tell you the threshold you gotta meet?
Tell me
This
the
could potentially
threshold I
be
need to
it.
beat.
There is
Yeah.
22 hit points on this beauty left.
22. Okay. So
With a
that
2nd
is
level Divine Smite and War
That's-
Machine, very
yeah.
doable.
That's 5d10 plus 4 for like this entire collective of damage.
You mean 5d8?
5d10.
5d10.
Because
Oh,
it's
that's right, 'cause it up-
lightning
yeah.
specifically. Yeah. So
I forgot how that was. Wait for a second. All right,
5d10.
go for it.
39 d10s plus 4. That's 43 points of damage.
He didn't even get to show off her final form. Maeve. First off, can we just take into account how much damage you just did in one turn? Do you want to know the full starting damage you had before this turn? She
Yeah.
had 70 HP. 70 HP in one turn, a legendary action, and a turn later, it is gone to 0 and gone into the negatives by 16 points. Double it and give it to the next person. So, Maeve,
yeah.
please describe to me how you would like to do this.
She doesn't typically like to gamble. She does not think her luck is all of that. But this person has killed her. She doesn't know where her wife is. And so she's Calamity's getting a bit of like anger and energy that isn't hers, but kind of like as her heart beats, the first attack, kind of trying to strip away any defense, is like aimed again for the core, knocking the wind out of her. And as she kind of like tilts over from the shock of the blow, she sidesteps one more time and almost taking like the claw from hell, she fucking uppercuts the shit out of Calamity and pumps in this lightning energy that just begins to fry through her mind and head, all the way coursing through her body, and knocking her like a good 10 feet away.
Oh, yeah. If you had to describe this, the overall original color of the lightning, what would you say it looks like?
Um,
Standard blue, slightly golden.
Standard blue, but towards the end, when she started to dip into her like exhaustion for it, it shifted towards like a purplish energy.
Hell yeah. And as the purplish energy strikes against her chin, you watch as Calamity's body fully ragdolls an extra 15 feet into the air before going 10 feet back and landing starfish out, unconscious and deceased, onto the floor with a broken jaw, dislocated shoulders, and a large portion of her face dented in from the pure impact of that blow. And you can just watch as you're heaving, 4 hit points left, your entire body exhausted. Sparks of energy just begin to fly off of you. Purple bits of lightning dancing off of your armor and gloves. And you just feel a shiver down your spine as the adrenaline begins to pass. Anything that Maeve would like to do in this moment?
I think she, just simply uncharacteristic of her, uh, begins to kind of like beat on her chest, and parade around dancing. It's very unsightly of Dumbala, but for her in this moment, it is just like a gladiator having won, um, and kind of that "Are you not entertained?" Type energy that flows through.
Hell yeah.
Before she collapses on her back from exhaustion.
And as you fall down, you can hear everyone in the stadium applauding and absolutely breaking out into cheers. You see Percy takes out an entire box of roses and mage hands it above you before dumping the box over and having them spray across you in the arena. People begin cheering. You hear your mother call out for you. Your sister is actually crying while also crying out. You can also see the number of different sponsors and important individuals that some of you have met begin to clap for you. Some golf claps, some full like energetic, some oomph behind it claps. And you can see your grandfather smiling down upon you with what looks like to be like almost the proudest smile you've ever seen. Not ear to ear smile, but bigger than you've ever seen before. Bigger than when you saw his smile when he was talking about your sister being awakened. And as you're taking in all of this moment for yourself, the arena suddenly goes quiet. As you're lying on your back, taking in your victory, your well-earned, hard-fought victory, the exhaustion sets in, the adrenaline leaves your body, and only silence now fills the arena, as for but a moment, you hear rustling in the dirt around you. And I say you specifically, because as everyone else in the arena begins to talk to each other, and you can hear I beginning an announcement, shouting out, "Ladies and gentlemen, the judge, jury, and executioner has seen their trial through, and Calamity is no more. Our clerics will be with you shortly for round 2, but a shout out to the Dumbala family and Maeve Dumbala for proving that our next generation shows no mercy and no fear towards anything the Heralds could throw at us. We'll be back shortly. Crawling through the dirt with your insanely high passive perception, you see a small, almost like near invisible with how small this creature is. Tiny creature does not probably give it justice. A small parasite crawl out of Calamity's body and begins to make its way through the dirt, slowly making its way towards the exit. And your mind immediately floods back to all of the memories of what Ada Drawcart told you. They are not actual sisters in the bodies that they share, but the parasites they use to control them. Calamity is still alive. She is desperately making her way, unseen by anyone else in this arena except for you, towards the exit. In this moment, what would you like to do?
How far away is the parasite?
As you are lying down right here and you turn to look at the body of Calamity, you see his... Do you know what I can do?
Yeah.
It is right here.
And does it? This is gonna sound really weird. Does it look wet, like a leech almost type ordeal, or is it like a physical like thing?
It looks I did look on Pinterest to see if I could find one that I liked enough, but I could not do it justice. It looks, imagine a nervous system. And imagine a smaller humanoid nervous system compacted into this tiny little creature. Has no eyes, no head. Is just a kind of almost like seaweed looking creature, but very thin, translucent-esque veins just spread into a ball as it begins to slowly crawl its way away from you.
Maeve is going to realize that she maybe can't get there on foot, but is going to phase step to get next to it, rip a piece of her cloth and try to capture it.
Um, Easy enough to do so. It is physically helpless at the moment. An ability check is not even required. You take it and you scoop it up. And for us, you just see as Maeve is like rolling over after having this like massive outburst of showing. Immediately, just randomly, almost, just bursts across the stadium, teleporting in a phase step. Before kind of like rolling around in the dirt for a moment before I assume standing back up.
Yeah, she's gonna try to stuff it into her vassalship token.
For sure.
Yeah.
And it's easy enough to do under the cover of glowing gloves, as they just now begin to wear off, and bits of static shock going throughout the air. And with that, you can see your mother immediately runs down and just takes the 30-foot jump into the arena,